What's good, everyone? This is Artists of Truth coming to you once again with another vlog entry. And what I wanted to talk about also today is not only interracial relationships, but a lot of sisters who are involved with, who are either, how should I say it, who have converted over, either they've gotten into relationships with white men or they have become lesbians. Now, I do understand everyone has their choice. I'm not even going to get into that shit. That's you, do what you do. But one thing in the process that I hear a lot of, I hear some black women say is, well, black men, these niggas ain't shit. They're not loyal. They're dogs. They're liars. They're cheaters and this, that, and the fifth. And, I have to question that. And my response to that type of mindset is you got to be a product of your own environment. So if you're surrounded by niggas, then that's what, 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to gravitate to, And when I say a product of your own environment, if you are in the hood, then that's all you see. That's all you will adapt to, unless you surround yourself with people that are going to show you that there's greater outside of your comfort zone. And I don't mean necessarily jumping into the arms of a white man or another woman, but responsibility starts with you as a black woman. Now, when you make these transitions, it's all well and good. But when you're making these transitions, in the process of it, do not lump great black men in the same category as niggas, because that becomes a problem. That becomes a problem, and it's quite obvious you don't know a good man if he was to walk by you on the street, because your mindset has clouded your better sense of judgment. You feel that just because niggas are, how should I say it? Niggas are this, that, and the fifth. I'm just like, okay, so niggas are this, that, and the fifth. But the question is, who have you been surrounding yourself with? I mean, if you've had bad relationships with niggas, the problem starts with you. Because why are you being involved with niggas? With accountability comes maturity. And I believe strongly in that. When you are operating with a mature mindset, maturity brings responsibility. Responsibility brings accountability. Now, when you are accountable for the things that you're saying and the things that you're doing, then when niggas have a tendency to come around you, you already recognize that. And you're able to push them off aside. And when a black man approaches you, you can recognize it. Simple. But a lot of women that jump into these interracial relationships, or they get involved, or they just get involved with another woman. Some say it's love. Now, what it really is, it's a sense of loving yourself and loving your people. You don't love yourself enough, and you don't love your own people enough to seek out a king, not a nigga, because of course they are all over the place. Niggas are all over the place. We can honestly agree with that. Ignorant, shallow-minded people are all over the place. And it's all about what you want for yourself. If you want better for yourself, then better will not come unless you work hard towards it. I've heard men and women say this, I want a better life, for me. I want this, I want that. But they are not putting in the necessary time. They're not putting in the work. Faith without works is dead. And I believe in that strongly. But nothing is just going to fall in your lap. And to my sisters who are out there in these interracial relationships, once again, that's your choice. You do what you feel is right, because you feel like, hey, love is love. But sooner or later, you're going to understand that love, real love, has no conditions. And in this world that we live in, there's no such thing as unconditional love. It's always some sort of stipulations. It's always some sort of guidelines, or you have to sacrifice being, you have to sacrifice being who you are comfortably just to please someone else or to fit in the mold of someone else. It's not necessarily that, but once again, it's all about accountability. And if you are surrounding yourself with niggas, then guess what? That's no one's fault but yours. So before you come out of your mouth and say, well, niggas ain't this and niggas ain't that, and no, I don't want to be involved with niggas because, when it comes to the black men, they're not loyal. They're liars, they're cheaters, they're disrespectful. Check yourself first. Check yourself first. Make sure that you are aligned. Make sure that you're doing everything in your power possible. Not just assume that nagging, complaining because you're not getting the things that you want. That's not living. That's not being a woman. You have to be that man's peace. And if you cannot be a man's peace because you're spending too much time talking about gimme, and you're stressing him, you're so argumentative, then guess what? You're not ready for a black man. You're not ready for a king. So when you get mad because you're consistently surrounding, you keep coming in contact and getting in these relationships with multiple niggas, it's because of you. It's not because of anybody else. It's because you made the conscious choice to get involved with a nigga and not take the time out and put in the necessary work and energy to find a king.